There comes a time in every young fellow's life when he has to think about his future. Childhood fancy, leadership and guidance. He begins to look around and he sees a world of broad horizons. Endless highways, bustling cities. He discovers many ways of life, many pathways to follow, many opportunities for his future. As he grows older, he looks more carefully at the world around him. He sees mighty skylines, forests of steel and stone. Giant industries sprawl through wide valleys. Modern machines pay tribute to technical progress. How about you? Where will you fit in this complex picture? You're growing older, you know, and coming closer to the time when the choice will be yours. It's never too soon to plan your way of life, to look for your place in the working world ahead. So many fail to prepare. They see the opportunities but are confused. They want to take some kind of immediate action, help build the world, but everything seems so complicated. How should they start to prepare? What foundation should they lay when they're uncertain of what their future interests will be? Nearly all young boys and girls have faced this same problem, especially those who live on farms and ranches. How can they enjoy the clean, quiet freedom of country living and still prepare themselves best for a place in modern society? Like the city, the farm today is becoming highly mechanized, a far cry from horse and buggy days. Boys and girls who live on a farm or ranch have all kinds of opportunities to get ready for their adult responsibilities ahead. One of the best and most satisfying ways to prepare is by starting an Angus heifer project. What can you gain by raising an Angus? Well, lots of things. First of all, feeding and caring for a calf is an enjoyable experience. You see your animal develop from a little calf into a sleek, blocky heifer. It's a good feeling to know that you've raised a purebred Angus cow. You learn to feed and manage beef cattle while associating with cattlemen and others interested in livestock. They'll teach you the correct methods of selecting, raising, and selling, lessons that will be of value to you the rest of your life. And at showtime, you'll feel the thrill that comes from competition as you exhibit your animal alongside those of your friends. When you win a ribbon or possibly a championship, the experience will become one of your most pleasant memories. For the future stockman who hopes to have a herd of his own someday, an Angus heifer project offers the best way to start. When showtime is over, a heifer is a good beginning toward building a herd. Yes, there's a lot of satisfaction in raising an Angus heifer. How do I get started? What do I have to know, you might ask? Where's the best place to learn about the Angus business? Well, there are dozens of field days each year sponsored by Angus associations and junior groups. Then, too, you can join 4-H clubs and Future Farmers of America chapters to learn about beginning a beef calf project. Association field men, club agents, and chapter advisors can give you much helpful information. They'll tell you what to look for in selecting an animal, where you can buy them, and how to feed and care for your heifer. If your dad has an Angus herd, you can learn a great deal from him, and he can help you solve the problem of getting a calf. Many successful cattlemen have founded their herds by borrowing a heifer from their father. Later, you can pay him back by letting him select a heifer from your herd. However, if he doesn't have a herd, association calf sales should not be overlooked as places to get your calf, because these auctions offer a wide selection. Hundreds of calves pass through these sale rings that make good project animals. There are Angus breeders in every area who will be glad to help you select a good heifer from their herd or sale offering. The help and advice of an experienced cattleman can be invaluable in getting started with the right kind of cattle. What breed will you choose for your project? Different people like different breeds. However, personal fancy should be supported by sound reasons, like the reasons that make Aberdeen Angus the breed of value and quality. Experienced stockmen know that the blacks sell higher in the open market. They are worth more to packer buyers because they produce carcasses of greater value with more edible beef and less wasty fat. And they are worth more to the rancher because he knows feeders will pay him more for his calves. Not only that, Angus are more resistant to pink eye, and they don't have cancer eye. Another major advantage of Angus is the fact that they are naturally hornless. You don't have to worry about horn weights and polishing horns, or doctoring for wounds caused by dehorning. How do you select a good Angus heifer for your project? You want to pick out an animal that's as nearly perfect as possible, of course. Step back and look at her general appearance. The heifer you choose should be well balanced, low set and deep, and straight in her lines. She should have a wide, deep chest and a breedy, feminine head. She should be uniform in width from fore to rear. A thick, wide loin with smoothness over the hooks is especially desirable. The rump should be long and carry out as level as possible to the tail head, and the hindquarters should be wide, deep, and full. Her legs should be short and set well out under the corners of her body, showing good substance as well as good quality bone. Don't buy a heifer with too much daylight under her. Your heifer should have a smooth, natural covering of flesh and possess a loose, pliable hide. Before the calf is purchased, it's a good idea to have the housing and feeding facilities ready. Her box stall or pen should be clean and dry, with plenty of ventilation but not drafty. Avoid keeping your calf in a tightly closed barn. Plenty of fresh water is important. Straw bedding should be replaced frequently. Your heifer should have an outside pen for regular exercise. Certainly you want your calf to stay healthy, so have her vaccinated for blackleg, malignant edema, and brucellosis, and have her health checked by a veterinarian. A shipping fever vaccination is also an excellent precaution should you have to truck your animal very far. Your heifer can be sprayed for lice after she's accustomed to her new home, and she should be kept free from flies. Insects can be a constant irritation to animals, and cattle do better if they are protected from them. See that the tattoos in your calf's ears correspond with those on her registration papers. You may want to check with an experienced friend or feeder to figure out a well-balanced ration. In handling and feeding your heifer, common sense comes first. Always feed your heifer regularly and handle her quietly. Water, salt, shelter, economical feeds, comfort, and exercise are all items which will assure much success if given proper attention. A typical starting ration used by cattlemen includes corn, oats, and minerals, and a good rule of thumb to follow in determining the amount you feed your heifer is to give her approximately 2 pounds of grain for every 100 pounds of body weight. Give your calf free access to loose salt. An easy way to make sure she's getting the proper amount is to sprinkle a little salt in her feed. Give her all of the fresh, palatable hay or mixed grass and legume hay she will clean up in 20 minutes. Also be sure her feed box and manger are clean at all times. It's wise to handle your heifer regularly to check for quality of fleshing. The right touch is a smooth, firm, even covering. If she gets hard or patchy, cut back on the corn slightly and increase the oats.